Hi, it's me. I just finished editing the following video and I wanted to make an introduction for it. I edited it in a slightly different way. I think I like it, but if you guys want to give me any feedback, that would be cool. Um, I wanted to go over the freeze response. There are everybody's heard of fight and flight. There's also the fawn and freeze response, and during the video, about 2 minutes and 45 seconds in, I have a freeze response. It's also known as the camouflage response. You see it a lot of times in animals in the wild when they feel like they're trapped. Being trapped is one of my biggest fears. Um, and it's just when you feel like you have nowhere to go and you just freeze or play dead. A lot of animals do that. And humans can kind of just like shut off or like kind of retreat, go into isolation. I spend a lot of my time when I'm having a freeze response hiding, like under blankets or in corners or something like that. It makes me feel a lot safer. So you'll see the freeze response. You'll also see me kind of like rocking back and forth like this, which is a soothing response. You'll see that happening, I think, more before I freeze. And I just wanted to kind of give a little introduction since that's what you're going to be seeing, and I felt like it would be good to do a little explaining beforehand. I hope you enjoy the video. Okay. One of the parts about what I'm going through is it's really hard to talk to people, especially people that I know really well, people who I really care about and who care about me. It's hard to talk to them about what's happening because it's all in my head. I mean, like, and it's weird. It sounds really weird. This evening, one of my friends, Jessica, who I've been friends since 4th grade with, we've been friends, she texted me and asked me what I did for New Year's, and I told her that I had some tentative plans, but nothing really happened because I got triggered, so I was basically dealing with that. And she asked, like, basically, she's like, do you mind if I ask what your trigger was? And I told her kind of a brief overview. It had to do with taking turns and basically like exchanges of services. Yeah, it's a trigger for me. My boyfriend and I, basically, he wanted to exchange, like, if you empty the dishwasher, I'll load it kind of situation. I got emotional, and it has nothing to do with what actually happened. It has to do with the fact that when I was a child, things like that, when things like that, deals like that were struck, bad things happened. And then I told her a little bit more. I said, you know, it's more about, like, at this stage, it's more about where I am, like, if I'm feeling like I'm in charge of myself, then I can deal with my emotional flashbacks and my triggers. But if not, then any little thing, you know, like, I'm triggered all the time by lots of different things, and a lot of things that I don't even know are triggers because I don't remember most of my childhood. It's hard, you know, like, it's not so much about being triggered, because that's almost a constant thing. A therapist has told me a few times that, like, she feels like I'm in kind of a state of, like, constant flashback, like, constant emotional flashbacks. I'm always feeling a little bit of fear that I felt as a child, and I definitely think that I agree with that. But when I'm feeling like I'm in charge, then those triggers are easily handled by me. Anyway, getting back to it. She responded that, she's like, so if, when you're not in charge, is the critic in charge? And that's a complicated question. It's actually not that complicated a question. It has a very complicated answer. And I wrote her a very long text and explained that, oh God, I go blank. It's so hard. Sometimes when I'm talking about emotional things, I turn off, is what I call it. My mind just goes blank. Everybody knows about the fight and flight response. There's also the freeze and fawn response. I have a lot of the freeze response where I just kind of like freeze. Okay, deep breath. explained to her that right now I'm changing the way I'm thinking about things. I used to think that I was weak and the critic would win and I would lose when basically I was not able to like fight it off. But now that I am taking the stance that like I'm the boss and like everything that happens, like I'm in charge of it, and sometimes when I'm tired and when things are just I'm too sad or things are just too overwhelming, I, you know, choose to submit for a little while, which basically just means that like I hand off my inner child, Celeste, who is right here. Oh, Celeste. I will usually hand her off to Aaron and he'll take care of her and I'll just kind of take a mental beating. It sucks, and the reason for it is basically I just can't deal, I just can't fight it. I need a break from fighting. But the point is that I've made a decision to submit for a little while, so the critic gets to have at me, and then when I feel better, I tell it to go away again. So I was kind of letting her know about that, and then also that like, yeah, it's about how I'm thinking about it. Even though the outcome might be the same, it's not that I'm weak, it's that I've made a decision to give myself a break from fighting. It's difficult for me to explain that decision because it's not really a break. It's awful. It's like you have someone in your head like telling you bad things and like preying on the things that you're the most afraid of. But like at least I can sit there and I can know like these are lies and it will pass. Like I'm not going to be feeling this way forever. I'm not going to be hearing this voice forever. It's a temporary thing for me to just be with it. I sent that to Jessica and I felt so thankful after I sent it that I like had somebody in my life that I could tell about that, and I knew that they weren't gonna, I knew that she wouldn't be like, wow, Nicole's like crazy and she's like making all this stuff up, or, you know, just, I know it sounds crazy, like I'm a sane person, well, it's all relative, but like I'm an intelligent person and I know the way things can sound. I immediately like I sent her a text and I just said, thank you for being someone who I can share this with, because I don't have very many people that I can, and it just means a lot. And she sent me a text back and she was like, thanks for sharing it, and I wish there was more I could do to help. A lot of people want to help, and like when you're going through a hard time, letting people help you go through that time or letting people help you feel better is one of the kindest things that you can do. And I just really, it's all in my head. I have to do it by myself. The ways that people help are to care, to stay in contact with me, even when I don't answer texts right away or, you know, really seek out things. I'm like, I have some really valuable people in my life who do that for me, and it means the world to me. Anyway, I was thinking about that, and I am trying to do these videos so that people can understand what it's like to go through something like this, and that is a big part of it. Social interaction, you know, like, it's tough. It's really tough. But I'm so glad that I have people in my life that care and that want to know, and I can tell this like craziness too, and they support me. They support me as best as I can be supported. Talk to you later.